All right, I think we're on. Is this on?
Said it was live.
Hey,
All right.
everybody.
Hey, folks, how's it going?
Facebook world, how are you?
Facebook.
Are we on
Hello.
What's that?
Are we
We're on-
YouTube as well?
Yep, we're on Facebook and YouTube. So all the places where we can
Nice.
stream. It's
Way to
pretty
go,
nice.
Jake.
Am I the only one in my basement? Where are you guys at in your houses?
Oh no, I'm totally in my basement.
I'm in my main living room.
Oh, okay. We're basement dwellers. Jake the snake.
Yeah, I just want to clarify here, Tracy.
Jake.
When you say your main living room, how many living rooms do you have?
Well, there's like a when you first come into the house, there's like a little living room, but the one that we like hang out in.
Oh, okay.
Down here. Yeah.
Like a family
Front
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the living room. The other one's like a front room.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not ostentatious.
Yeah. I've got the front living room, and then I've got a second
Got
living
the rear.
room.
Then we've got the upper
Yeah.
living
Then
room.
we've got the parlor.
We have a sunroom in our house, so that's a little
Oh, there
bougie.
you go. That's nice.
Sunroom.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
If our kids ask for a sunroom, we just tell them to go outside. There's plenty of sunshine outside. What do you need a room for?
I don't know why they call it
Dad.
that.
Yeah.
It's just adjacent to so there's like the living room and the dining room, and then over here is another smaller room where
Mhm.
my dad watches TV and listens to records, and it has a lot of windows, so it's the sunroom.
I like
That's
it.
cool.
That's nice.
Whatever
That's
makes you
nice.
feel good about your life. Live
Yeah.
your best
Exactly.
life. That's what I.
Get your vitamin D.
That's right. Well, we are back live on Facebook. Just wondering how everybody's doing, checking in to see how folks are doing this week. So, how was your week, guys?
Oh, it was a long
pretty
week.
good. Yeah.
We have one long week and one pretty good week. All right. All right.
Go ahead. Tracy, tell us about your long week.
It's the end of the month and billing is due, and
Mm.
so all these contracts are hitting, and trying to do it remotely is not easy. And then you're trying to get it
Boo.
through corporate who's trying to do it remotely, and then you've got salespeople. If I don't get the billing through, they don't get paid. So it is just long and stressful, and but we made it. We survived.
Yay.
We're into May. Holy cow! It's already
I
May.
know. It's gonna be May.
It is already May.
Thanks,
And
JT.
It's
Monday-
already May.
I
I made my boyfriend watch the pirate movie
Yes!
this week. And I
What do you
told him
think?
going in, I said, I just want to let you know that this is one of my favorite movies in the world, but it's awful. It's horrible. And then as we're watching it, I kept reminding him, remember, I told you going in that it's an awful movie, but it's so great because it's so awful. And he agreed with me that it was awful. But then today is our 10-month anniversary of our first date. I know I'm one of those people now.
one of those
And
people
so
now.
I always hated those people. I was like, screw you. And you're remembering your first date crap.
And
So
then you became.
I am now one of these happy people. So I posted about it, and I was so happy because on my post about it, his comment was a video from a song from the movie, the pirate movie, and it's the end song that's like the longest song in the world. And so I'm like, you love me, like you got me. So yeah,
Awesome.
Now we just got to convert
good. I
Jake.
said good day. Yeah, Jake.
Now we just have to do what?
Convert you
Convert
to that
you to
movie.
this movie.
Oh, I see. I thought you
I
like
feel like
converting me
I've-
to like celebrating anniversaries and stuff, and I'm on board with that. Or love. I'm also on board with love. No, you'd have to convert Jake into liking people. Oh.
But was there? I think we need to
tough
do an
sell.
episode. I think we need to do an episode or maybe a whole month of movies that you can't watch, but you shouldn't watch, but you do anyway when you're going through heartache. Because we've all gone through a time in our lives where we've gone like this to like love, right? Where we're just like, F you love. And then we turn on the movies, the exact movies we shouldn't be watching, but we just can't look away from these movies that are going to make us feel worse. Do you think this is a good idea? I think this is
I
a
think
great
so.
idea.
Especially
So, like-
if you're in a good
I
solid
love love.
relationship right now.
So these would be movies that we feel like are romantic or like that normally you would watch with a significant other, but you watch it when your
they're
heart
the
is
movies
broken.
that you should absolutely not watch when your heart is broken, but you do anyway. Like P.S. I Love You. You should not watch that movie if you just lost somebody that you love, but we do it anyway.
And you get one of those Ben and Jerry cartons, you go to town.
Listen, I'm a professional. It's not just one, honey. It's not just one. There's like at least 5 flavors that I put across the table. Okay.
I
feel like Jake the Snake is our therapist today. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Go ahead. Make yourself comfortable on the couch there. I'm pretty sure this has something to do with anyway.
I love that our psychologist is nicknamed the Snake.
Yeah.
Jake the Snake is my therapist.
It's good. It instills confidence in my patients, really. No, I'm an emotional eater myself. You mentioned eating and like it doesn't matter what emotion it is, sadness, happiness. Like I just eat. No, I am the last couple of weeks ago I was really stressing about stuff and it was really hard and I found myself like eating really, really poorly. I'm very much a stress eater. And this is not a good situation for me to be home with food while I'm a stress eater.
Yeah.
In a stressful situation.
It's just like it's just right there all the time and you can just go right to it. When you're at work, it's a lot harder to do that. Yeah. What about doing an episode or a series of episodes about movies that make us hungry? Like every time I watch The Chef, the movie Chef, every time I watch that movie and every time I watch Julie and Julia, which I watched the other night and then the next day I made bruschetta, like a crap ton of bruschetta. Every time I watch both of those movies, I'm hungry. Like I need to eat everything.
Trying to think what movies make me feel like I really want to eat a lot. I don't know. I mean, Chef, obviously. Ratatouille would be a good one. Except French food always has seemed really, really fancy to me. And like, I don't know how much I like fancy food. I figure everything's got snails in it.
But when he takes like the cheese and the strawberries and the...
Dude, I got to tell you, the best sandwich I ever had was just cheese and ham on a French baguette heading down to the Cathedral of Notre Dame. And that sandwich was just phenomenal. And that's all it was, is bread, meat, and cheese. And it was so good.
Do you think it was better because of where you were at and where you were headed? Like you just had this euphoria of where you were, where you were going.
That's part of it. But then Jimmy John's started to do a French baguette sandwich for just a limited time. And it wasn't as good, but it was close.
I'm not a fan.
That made me very happy too.
I like it when you can find something close to in Germany. When I was there, we ate a lot of Döners. This was like 20 years ago. Döners, I don't know if you guys, anyway, they're delicious Turkish street food that is all over the place in Germany. They're like gyros, but better. Okay. And there is a restaurant here in Salt Lake called Spitz. It's right around the corner from Channel 2 Wells Fargo building, if you guys know. And they do Döners there, and it's not the same, but it's close enough that I'm like, okay, I feel like this reminds me of that same flavor, that same taste, but it's definitely fancier because they're not like Turkish street food. They're pretty upscale.
Sit down, nice restaurant.
Yeah, but they're great. Definitely check out Spitz. They're really, really good. Just opened one up in West Jordan too, at Jordan Landing.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like in the middle of all of this, they opened one up like 2 weeks ago, and you could do delivery and curbside pickup. I was like, I'm going.
That's good.
Yeah. So, like, I think it's great that they opened something up. Yeah.
Hi, Josh.
All right. So real question. Really quick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put you on. Hi, Josh. Hi, Alan. I'm gonna put you both on the spot really quick. And I kind of talked about this yesterday on my other streamcast. We get an email tomorrow that says, guess what? We have a screening for you guys to go see next Thursday night at a movie theater. Would you go?
A screening?
Pre-screening for a movie. A pre-screening for a movie for us movie critics to go to, would you put on a mask and go and sit 6 feet away from people in the theater if that was an opportunity?
Usually there's pretty good spacing already at a critic screening. So I would probably put on a mask and head over. I'm not ready to go to a regular movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But you might have the whole row to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's actually a thing. Sometimes that's a thing. Like I've gone to Star Wars screenings where, I wanted to sit next to people, but there really wasn't enough people in the theater because it was just a critic screening. But I think just like you, Tracy, like if it was merely, a critic screening, I'm definitely ready to get back to that. But if it was like a full on, this theater's going to be full, like everybody won tickets to this, then no.
I think we're a long way away from that happening. I think even if theaters were to open up, which here in Utah, they could technically. I haven't seen any theaters that have opened up, probably because they have nothing to show in them right now.
They reopened the Redwood
Drive-in.
Redwood Drive-in because last week they were going to, and then they closed it. It was open this weekend. My friend that works for the health department was actually walking around there this weekend to make sure everybody was following the rules and everything. But there are movies to be screened. There are, but
I know like the big theaters here, not drive-in theaters, are not open, even though they technically could be, because we're in the moderate phase now. But I think even if they do open, it's going to be, through reserved seating, you're not going to be able to sit right next to people. There's going to be spacing. And I think that the world as we know it is going to be very different on the other side of this. And, and
very much.
And with all of that in mind, like if I had to put on a mask and I knew that there was going to be spacing and I was only going to be sitting next to like my wife or someone that I was comfortable with, I'd go. And
not
critic
Tracy.
Screening, sure. No, I'd go with Tracy. Tracy's been pretty good from what I can tell. I'm comfortable with Tracy. I mean, sometimes he laughs at stuff that isn't funny. But
Shazam.
I'm assuming
that was
Josh
one of my
isn't
favorite.
I'm assuming Josh isn't saying so true that Tracy laughs at stuff that isn't funny, but maybe he is. So it just timed really well.
For those that haven't heard this story, so we're at a screening of Shazam.
It's one of my favorite stories, by the way.
We're at the screening of Shazam, and it's a nighttime screening, so it's for critics and it's also for people that had advanced tickets. It's one of those where you don't have a guaranteed seat. You show up early and you get your ticket and you go in. So we're watching this movie and something happens. I don't even remember what it was. And I started laughing. And this little kid in front of me is like 5 or 6 years old. And he turns around and he looks at me directly. He goes, "That was not funny." And that just made me laugh even harder. And the kid's look on his face, he was so pissed. I'm like, sorry, kid.
Yeah.
You will not have fun. You will not have fun. That was not funny.
That was not funny.
You can't laugh at that. That wasn't funny.
So we went, my wife and I went this morning to a restaurant. I don't want to say the name because it wasn't a great experience, and I am going to talk about what wasn't great about it. The restaurant was fine.
Went out and ate at a restaurant?
Yes, because I was like, let's see what it's like. And we wore our masks. We followed all the guidelines. They had on half the tables, they had a sign that said, "Don't sit here," basically, because for social distancing. And so you could sit at, so there was at least a table between us and the next group. But what I was really surprised by was we walked in and none of the employees had masks on, and most of the patrons weren't wearing masks either. And I was like, now wait a second. I thought that part of this whole thing was we could go out to a restaurant, but you had to wear a mask except for when you were eating. And that was really weird because for a split second I had my mask on and I picked up my food that I was going to eat. And I was like, how am I going to eat this with my mask on? I was like, oh wait, no, that's the one time I'm allowed to take it off now that I'm out here. And so, it was interesting. So I'm nervous. I think that,
we want people to be responsible.
Like, I think we've got to be smart about how we do this. And I think if we're going to reopen, we need to be smart and responsible about it. And all I can control is myself. I don't know what the situation was with the employees. I don't know My understanding may be completely wrong on what the rules are. I don't run a restaurant. I don't
I
own a
thought
restaurant.
all restaurant employees had to wear them.
That was my thought too.
So
that's my understanding.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to say the name of the restaurant. I don't necessarily want to out somebody for the 5 people that are watching us right now. But
I mean, Alan, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, I'll tell you after the show. I'll tell you which one it was.
Alan's excited for Shazam versus Black Adam. What do you guys think about that combination?
I'm excited for that one. That's a dream role for Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, I love.
You guys know how I feel about him, so
I'm assuming that you love him because everybody should, because he's amazing. And I think he'll be really well as Black Adam.
Dream role. He's been talking about wanting to do that for 20 years.
Zach Levi's got some work cut out for him, though, to be as buff as Black Adam in that movie.
Well, his buff was stuffed from the beginning, so he's fine.
Yeah, so then they're going to need more stuff for his buff.
But I just hope more stuff for his buff. Can we make that a title
of the episode?
More stuff for his buff. Don't worry about it.
This is the only thing that I'm worried about. Is as much as I do love Dwayne Johnson, and he has wanted this role for a long time, and it did get a little controversial for a little bit because some people don't agree with the name Black Adam for this character that's been around for a long time. But I'm hoping that because Shazam is kind of a cheesy, it's a cheesy, it's a cheesy movie, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want him to get into like the character of what he was in Moana. I think it would be so easy to go into that cheesiness of his that he carries on in a few other characters. I would like to see him like really kind of jump into the superhero aspect of this and try and go a different direction. As much as I love him, I just kind of want to see something a little bit differently. Yeah, when he was in The Mummy, he was probably the best thing about that movie, by the way. That was a horrible movie. Yes. I love him in that movie, and every time he's on screen, the stuff that's happening was fantastic. That was not a good movie, though. Sorry, Josh. I love you, though. You know how much I love you.
I think... Well, and that was really the role that put him on the map as an actor. I mean, up to that point, everybody knew about his professional wrestling career. I mean, professional wrestling fans knew about his professional wrestling career. Let's not fool ourselves as far as everybody knowing about it. But he was well known.
He was getting into the mainstream.
If you said you can smell what The Rock is cooking or whatever, I knew who you were talking about, even though I had never seen him actually say
right.
That.
He was more mainstream than most of the other wrestlers at the time. And, but the Scorpion King was really the role that everybody kind of stopped and said, "Oh, wait, this guy could actually act." I mean, he's in an action movie. He's just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude's got charisma for days.
I would be surprised if it would be anything like his Maui character in Moana. I think this will be a much more serious role. I hope.
Will it? Because it's a cheesy movie. Like Shazam is not a serious.
It wasn't serious, and it doesn't need to be. I think he'll bring the right amount of cheese to the role, because Black Adam is supposed to be kind of an anti-hero. He's somebody that you actually like, even though he's kind of the villain.
Right? He's like the Deadpool of that kind of thing, and so I just kind of want him. I want to see something a little bit different.
Yeah. Whoa.
My mic was muted for some reason.
I don't know what, but I'm like, hey, who muted now?
She's self-bleeped.
My computer has had enough of me talking.
It's like, that's it. We're done, Val. No more talking. Computer says we're done. No, I think that because Black Adam is much more, he's a foil to Shazam, who is a kid trapped in this adult's body. Right. And so that's kind of the goofiness that comes from his character. But Black Adam wasn't a kid trapped in an adult's body. He was a warrior. He was an ancient. He was. I think it'll be a very different. I think he was a king, some kind of leader like that. And I think it'll be a very different role than Shazam. And I don't think it'll be overly cheesy. I hope not.
He was good in Rampage. I know that not a lot of people like those movies, but I just really enjoy all of his action films. He knows the kind of movies he's making. He's not making
100%.
movies that are going to be Academy Award winners. He is making brain candy that they are popcorn.
They're entertainment.
You are going to the theater and you are just, so I love Rampage. I loved the one where he has to climb the building to save his family. I own that movie. I can't remember what it's called right now. And you guys know how much I love Hobbs and Shaw. Like it's
I mean, it's insane how much you love that movie.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm a fan and I'm excited, but I'm really, really excited for what Netflix has coming in May, you guys. Like there's so much. We might be able to like leave our couches by the end of May, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to because there are so many great things coming. So because I know we're going to talk a little bit about Disney today because of some things that are coming up on Disney, but on May 5th, Jerry Seinfeld 23 Hours to Kill Netflix comedy special is coming. And I think we need this right now. I think it's exactly what we need in our lives right now.
I agree with that.
Well, it's always good to get a little bit more Seinfeld in your life. I'm never against that. Do
you guys watch his show, The Writing in Cars?
Yeah, comedians in cars getting coffee. It is one of my favorite things on the internet. I mean, it's just incredible. I love that show. Love it. And he's so natural as just that kind of interview and just talking to him and everything. And yeah, it's a great show. Everyone should binge watch it and they're short. Like the episodes are only like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get through all of it. And then you'll be all done and you'll be like, dang, I just watched all of it and there isn't anything new right now. But it is really, really fun. I know that I couldn't remember. Patton Oswalt also has a comedy special coming on May 19th. If you're a fan of Patton Oswalt, I love all of the comedy specials. There's only like 2 or 3 on Netflix that I don't really care for, because I don't care for the comedians. But all in all, their comedy specials are super fun. Are you guys anything you guys are looking forward to?
I saw Patton Oswalt live, and it was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, he's really good.
May 29th, we all want to put down on our calendars because if you are a little kid at heart that really wanted Space Force to happen, May 29th, Space Force is going to be on Netflix.
Steve Carell. Carell is back.
I don't know anything about this. What is this? Is it a movie? Is it a series?
Exactly it's a series. It's a series, and it's exactly what you think.
He's an Army general or something like that, and he gets recruited by the president to head up Space Force, and nobody knows what this is supposed to be or how it's supposed to work, but they've been told that they need to do it. So it's kind of like The Office, except dealing with the military and Space Force.
So is this like a documentary series that Netflix is doing? Their next like Tiger King series, like it's chronicling real factual like events.
Yeah, starring Steve Carell.
Starring Steve Carell. Well, sure.
It's the fictionalized documentary version.
Looking at some qualified people that have been picked, qualified people lately, I would say Steve Carell would fit the bill for Space Force. Why not?
Did you guys get a chance? Did you watch the Parks and Rec special?
Yes, I did.
Didn't watch it because I haven't seen Parks and Rec, and so I thought I should hold off until I've seen that. Now, I have to ask both of you this. I have to ask. So I have both of these in my queue because people keep telling me to watch them, but I don't know which one to start first. Do I start Parks and Rec first, or do I start Community first? Because I feel like didn't they both come out at around the same time? And
Community was a little earlier.
Okay. So which one do I start first?
Community is kind of a biting satire with a lot of heart. Parks and Rec is just like a really good feel-good show. Yeah. Community might be the best written comedy series possibly ever, in my opinion.
Wow.
Until Dan Harmon left for a year. He kind of got fired by NBC, and the whole show basically fell apart. There's one season that's just, we call it the gas leak season, because it's like there was a gas leak and everybody passed out, and it was just new showrunners trying to capture Dan Harmon's voice, and his voice is so distinct it's hard to do.
Yeah.
Boy, both of those are good choices. I love Community. I love Parks and Rec. I'd lean towards Community.
Community first.
I would say Parks and Rec, but that's only because I like Parks and Rec slightly more than Community.
You know what we should do? Can we put this as a poll on our page?
Yes.
On our
we
Facebook
can totally
page
put it up on our page.
To see which one I should start first.
Yeah, which one should Val watch first?
You're absolutely no help.
I'm sorry.
The other one to add to your list is The Good Place.
We're not looking to expand her list. She's got to get through those two first.
That's on there. But with the content that I've seen that's on the show and how devastated you have been about the show, I figured I'd push that down further in my headspace because it seems like it's a little more emotional.
Yes.
Am I right?
Same creator
so
as Parks and Rec.
It is on my list, but it's like way down further. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Is everybody gonna? That's fair. We're all gonna use it now. May the 4th is Monday. May the 4th is Monday. Guess what I'm doing Monday?
Are you gonna be a Twi'lek?
Can we do what?
You gonna dress up as a Twi'lek?
Twi'lek, yeah.
No.
I heard Twilight for a second, and I was like, "What does Twilight have to do with May the 4th?"
I'm going to put my armor on because that's what I already have, and why would it make my life more difficult?
Well, you are Amanda.
Has anybody, this is totally not movie related at all, but it's something that you said, how are you guys doing at the beginning of the show? Has anybody gotten like way more text messages that are like bogus?
Yes.
I've been getting random text messages about weird things that I just like mark as spam. This is the first time ever I've gotten this one, and I'm going to share it with you. Welcome to his and hers waxing text marketing message.
Waxing text.
Are they just assuming that me and my boyfriend are really hairy right now and that we need waxing? And how did I get on this list?
How? See, you're not supposed to. That's the thing with text is legally they're not allowed to text you. They have to do a double opt-in. Because like when you go to a restaurant and they're like, sign up for our Diners Club, and you text in the number and then it sends you a message back and says, are you sure you want to subscribe? Hit yes or no. That's a double opt-in. Technically, legally, that's what you're supposed to do. But obviously spammers don't follow the law.
So by the
time we have another show again, I might be waxed. I just
I was going to say, so did you set an appointment?
Let us know how that goes.
Anyway.
I got a random picture of a garage door, and I'm like, I think you have the wrong number. Oh, sorry.
I get text messages. Somehow I've ended up on some list where people think I want to sell my house. So I get text messages all the time about, hey, I'm just wondering if you're interested in selling your property at, in my address. I won't say that out loud.
Yeah, please don't.
And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that it was for sale. I haven't put it on the
news
market.
To me.
Yeah. Anyway, so I get a lot of those text messages. I don't know how I got on that list. But it is May the 4th on Monday. We kind of diverted from there to Val's waxing.
So I want to ask you guys to do something for me. I'm going to put you on the spot again, and then Tracy, you can talk. So I have
Yes, I was going to say that's the perfect 6-foot distancing.
I'm ready. That's right. I can walk around with this, and like if you are closer than my lightsaber, you're too close.
That's exactly right.
I used to do that for dances too, but that was a totally different situation.
Okay, so no, I want
same distance though. It was weird.
I want to invite the two of you to be on my other podcast, Multiplane Podcast, as we watch the episode. So you're going to watch it regular by yourself, but then the second time we all watch it, we're going to watch it together as we're streaming live, and we're going to do commentary on this. Are you guys in?
Sure.
That's my all Disney podcast.
Done and done.
All right. In? Yeah, I'm in.
Which movie?
I think the Mandalorian
what were you
going to
say, Tracy?
Are you thinking the Mandalorian?
Yeah,
the
new Mandalorian episode that's going to be on Monday on Disney Plus.
Okay.
So you guys can watch it once with your family or however you want to watch it. And then on Thursday at 3:30, we're going to go live and watch it together and do commentary on it.
All right.
Very
I'm in.
cool. I'll take a lunch break on Thursday and just make it late.
Sweet. Tracy, you were going to say something.
I was just going to make the comment that the lightsaber is a perfect 6-foot distancing tool.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake and I both own one, so.
So Tracy and Jake have a lightsaber, but Val doesn't.
I think Jake was making an innuendo there.
It was a sorry attempt, and it was bad.
And it's adorable. Every time Jake tries to do that, it's
I know,
so
it's
cute.
really
I
like
love it.
I'm
My
like
favorite.
I'm gonna try it again, and it still is awful.
We love
every
you, Jake.
time. Thank you.
It made me laugh.
I feel so loved.
I think I have sunscreen in my eyes from running today. Not running, but
allergies?
walking briskly outside. No, I think I got
Running, but walking
sunscreen in my
briskly.
eyes.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, when you get.
I'm like the lady that walks really fast that you're like, why don't you just run? And I'm like, I hate running, so I'm just going to walk really, really, really fast.
My thing is when I see somebody running,
Until I pull a hammy.
just be like, hey, go get it.
Yeah, I think it's great when I see people running faster than me, which is everybody.
So do I.
But
You should watch Brittany Runs a Marathon.
I've heard that one's really
it's
good.
so great.
That's
I think it's on
great.
Amazon
It is
Prime,
really
so it's
good.
really
It is.
available.
Yeah,
So I
they're
should
like
watch it.
they're running, and these like school kids start passing them, and the lady goes, "We're going backwards."
So, we'd like to hear from the people that are watching what movies they want us to talk about. Like, do you guys have requests for movies that you want to hear us discuss on the show? Oh, this is one that we haven't done yet, The Princess Bride.
Yes, we have not done that one.
And we probably should at some point.
It's new to Disney Plus, so now you can watch it on Disney Plus if you have that.
Yeah, it is on Disney Plus.
I do. Have you guys watched Bob Ross Beauty is Everywhere Collection 1 on Netflix?
No. No. So
if you haven't, it's leaving Netflix on May 30th.
Okay.
So you won't be able to watch it after May 30th.
This month, you got to get that in.
You have a month.
Do people
watch
watch
the Bob Ross show?
Do people watch Bob Ross and not paint? Is that like? I guess that's the thing, right? Because I've always been like, I don't watch Bob Ross because I don't want to paint.
Very soothing.
Okay.
No,
so
it's
not about the painting at all.
And soothing. You just watch him. No, it's about his voice, and you watch him create this beautiful piece of artwork, and you just feel better. You just feel better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
Jake's not convinced.
Well, no, I just don't. I've never understood. Like, a lot of people love Bob Ross. I'm like, do a lot of people paint? I don't paint. He makes happy little trees on there, and that's really cool. But I try it, and it turns into happy little smudges of paint. So
Brandon.
Brandon,
no.
listen, Brandon,
No.
listen.
No.
I was wondering if this would come up again. Let me just say, I still have not rented Trolls 2 World Tour. I will not be renting Trolls 2 World Tour.
Why are you depriving your children of this?
Because
he's a good parent.
Listen, my kids have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and a plethora of movies on iTunes. I'm not depriving them of anything,
but
except maybe
American Idol's America's sweetheart, Kelly Clarkson.
Well, you've got Justin Timberlake. You've got a bunch of awesomeness in this movie, but it doesn't mean you have to give in.
I loved the first Trolls, and I think Trolls 2 is probably pretty good. $20 to rent it just seems steep for me. And I get why it is what it is, and I totally understand. And before the comments come back, I also understand it is cheaper than taking my whole family to the movie theater. I do want to point out, it has been a long time since I've taken my whole family to the movie theater. And that, for those that have seen a movie with me, you're welcome. Because it is not a treat for anyone.
So Josh has a good idea. So he brings up unaccompanied minors. What if Who's the bad guy? Are you
I
the
don't
bad
know.
guy?
He's playing Lego Star Wars. I'm sorry, my son is back here playing Lego Star
That's
Wars.
a great game.
There is no need to apologize
Yeah,
when you're
he's
doing the
having
right
fun.
thing.
He got a bad guy. So
But what if we did a month of movies made in Utah, and we started with Unaccompanied Minors?
yeah.
I've never seen that one.
I mean, you're not really missing out on anything, but I think it's worth a shot if we want to talk about movies shot in Utah. It's not the best one made here, but yeah.
What would you say the best movie is that was made here, Val?
Hereditary.
I'm putting you on the spot. That's like
Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, that's tough to beat that. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That was always one of my favorite things about that movie is that first scene all takes place, not just shot in Utah, but it actually takes place in Utah. And I'm like, Indiana Jones grew up in Utah. I grew up in Utah. I could be Indiana Jones.
I mean, there's a lot of great movies that have been shot here, but I mean, you know how much I love. Oh, yeah,
dude, that was like lined up perfectly on your head.
I know. I tried to see. I am Indiana Jones. It's perfect.
That was good.
Yes,
I love Indy. Anyway, I would probably agree with you, Val. That's probably the best.
Oh, Josh, The Stand, which was shot at one of the schools I used to go to. Yeah.
Okay.
They're remaking that again. Well, they will when this is all over.
The Sandlot, which we are actually still going to. I talked to Marshall, and we still, if we can get to Brandon, we kind of have a thing that we want to do with The Sandlot that you might be able to be involved in. So that one's on the back burner for a minute. Do you guys know that I beat Brandon in a competition this week?
I didn't know that.
I did. I watched that. That was great.
Our buddy
Craig
Price with Matinee Heroes has a new internet show where it's cast off. So we go up against other podcasters and we recast a movie and then one of us wins. And he made us recast Avengers, Craig Price. And then
he got the double. He got the double.
He knows I'm angry at him, but I ended up winning.
So
Brandon says rub it in.
That sounds like a terribly difficult show to be on.
Really well. No, it was really fun. It was really fun.
Good.
It was me and Brandon and Patrick. Beatty. Yeah.
And Patrick was just getting pummeled by you and Brandon.
He had some fun. He was there. He was funny.
He was great.
We need to post the link to it.
Patrick was great. It was a fun episode.
So speaking of Matinee Heroes, one of the episodes I did with Matinee Heroes was The Iron Giant, which was one of my favorite movies. I love Iron Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon may have redeemed himself with that suggestion after Troll 2 World Tour. May have. Oh, jury's still out on that one. But
that
sounds like a fun show. I'll have to check it out.
It is, and there's going to be more of them. I'm sure you'll probably be on it soon. But do you guys even want to know who I said should be Iron Man? Because
lay it out.
Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor.
I'm good with that.
Do you know who I picked as Loki? Young Christopher Walken.
Yes.
Okay.
You lost that pick, but it was close.
But it was a really good pick.
It's a really good pick.
Who had a better pick?
Brandon.
What was his pick? What was your pick, Brandon?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. Just for how my son just said Ready Player One.
Okay,
the book is amazing. The book is amazing. The movie
Let me tell a story here really quick about Ready Player One, Brandon, for those that are listening at home. We actually did that as a panel at Salt Lake Gaming Con last year. We recorded it, and somehow it was the worst episode we've ever done. And somehow the audio just disappeared, and we can't find it. Secretly, I found it, but it will never see the light of day.
It was such a train wreck from the beginning.
David Tennant was his pick for Loki.
Like we did a movie that none of us enjoyed.
Yeah, which was a bad. Yeah. We wanted to do a video game movie, and we picked Ready Player One, and then we found out as we were doing the panel that none of us liked that movie at all. And we wondered why we picked it.
People showed up to the panel, so we couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't feed off the audience because there was nobody there. So
Yep.
And part of what we do on our show that we enjoy is we pick the movies that make us, the movies that have had an influence on our lives, and typically those aren't movies that you hate. Right. And so
that movie just
we just don't
angry.
do that.
That movie makes us angry.
So no, we won't do Ready Player One. That episode will never air as a movies that make us episode. Just
that's the movie we don't speak of.
Yeah, I love it when people bring it up though, because it's like, well, funny story about that. We're not going to ever talk about it again.
I listened to the book again. Like I started it a week and a half ago, and I'm finished. Like I listened to it again because I just love the book and I love listening to it. But the movie is stinky.
Yeah, it really is. We're killing the bad guys. I don't know if you can hear that now in the background, because he doesn't care about the bad guys. That's why we're killing them. Well, I'm teaching my son empathy and love for everyone, as you can tell, except the bad guys.
Video games, empathy goes out the window in video games.
Okay, Josh has a good suggestion again with What About Bob?
Love that movie.
I love Bill Murray. I love What About Bob. It is just a great show.
Dr. Leo Marvin.
Yes, baby steps to the elevator, baby steps to the hall. It's just...
This is the last bus to Lake Winnipesaukee, Bob. Oh, I know, Dolores.
Everybody just plays their part in that movie so well.
I'm sailing. Oh gosh, that's a great one.
That one was brought up a couple months ago, and so was Three Amigos, and we have yet to do either of those episodes. So we need to do Three Amigos, and we need to do What About Bob, because we said we would, and we still haven't.
Yeah. At work one Halloween, our boss was on maternity leave, and so there were just the three of us guys, and so we went as the Three Amigos for Halloween, and we built Santa Poco out of cardboard and put it up over our cubicles. It was awesome.
Do you have a picture of this? I want a picture of this.
I do somewhere. Yeah, I'll have to dig that up.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. We had the hats, the shirt, everything.
I wanted to throw this out there.
Go for it.
Airplane's funny, but so FanX, we're all three of us do panels at FanX, and we did get the posting today that all panel ideas and suggestions that we can put in are due next week. At the end of this week. And so if anybody has any ideas of what panels you would like to see us do at FanX, if FanX happens, when it happens, let us know, because we've done some really cool panels at FanX. Yep. I really loved the one that we did on the main vending hall. Actually, it was really fun.
Yeah, that one was really fun.
So we love to do interactive things with you guys at FanX. So yeah, put in the comments if you have an idea about maybe some pop culture movie that we should do a panel on, and like what you think, because we'll submit it, and hopefully we can do it. Yeah.
I think it would be great to do a panel, since we've talked about like What About Bob and Three Amigos, like some of those classic comedies, like what are some of those great classic comedies, and just kind of run down some of those, because there's so many of them out there that I think you forget about until somebody says, hey, what about this movie? And you're like, oh yeah, that movie is great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and some of those movies are like the most quotable movies. You know what I mean? Right. Like What About Bob is super quotable. Three Amigos. Like I want to dress up as El Guapo if we're going to do that panel. And I want somebody to follow behind me carrying a plethora of sweaters so that I can say I have a plethora.
Would you say I have a plethora? Could it be that you're upset that the Lady Carmen is not interested in you, so you're taking it out on me? Oh my gosh! Gonna make it. Oh,
we could definitely for our next.
Look up here.
My fear is if we tried to do the Three Amigos as an episode, could we get through? Like,
it'd just be quotes
without. I mean, that would just be us laughing at different quotes from the movie.
No,
and that would be fine.
To quote it, and then But this is the thing. I also figured out how to share our screen on here, so we could do a little sing along of My Little Buttercup during our live podcast. Come on,
that is awesome. We can make that happen. We can make that happen, and
we should do that at FanX too.
We should do that at FanX.
I'm down.
Speaking of our live episode, that's kind of something that we should probably let people know about, because we're going to kind of change the format a little bit. We've been kind of doing weekly episodes on the podcast stream. And what we've decided to do is Josh is starting the sing along now, but what we've decided to do is we're going to do a live episode on Monday. So we did Parasite this last Monday. That was live. It was here on Facebook. It was on YouTube. You can still go back and watch that video. We're going to post that episode to our audio stream this upcoming Monday. And then next week we'll do another live episode, maybe Three Amigos, maybe What About Bob. I feel like now we kind of have to do Three Amigos because we've talked so much about it.
I'm down.
And do the sing along. And then we will go ahead and keep doing that. Brandon says live singing on StreamYard isn't great. Brandon, live singing with us probably isn't going to be great regardless. So
if you've ever heard an episode, you don't want to hear me sing.
That's not true. I love hearing you sing, Tracy. It makes me smile every time. Yep, we're going to do it anyway, whether it's good or not. Not important.
Being good has never stopped us from doing anything.
Yeah, if we let that stop us, what would we do? It would, woo. Anyway, but yeah, so look for that. So you guys will definitely want to keep watching us on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure that you don't miss those live episodes, and then just know that they will come later on the audio podcast stream. So that's kind of what we're going to do going forward, at least for the foreseeable, as long as we're in this predicament. Mm-hmm. Predicament? Can we call it a predicament? That seems like it's small, but we'll call it that. A kerfuffle. But
I think it's fun. I like talking with people as we're doing it.
So. I do too. Like I've enjoyed this quite a bit. Oh my gosh, Young Frankenstein is really funny too. I just stopped reading the comments. Well, I shouldn't. I enjoy the comments.
No, you're in charge, so you have to put all these on a list because you're important and you're in charge of the important things.
It's true. You're the responsible adult in this relationship.
Put your lightsaber down and take some notes already.
You're the responsible adult. Fine, let me put my toys away. Put my lightsaber away. Put my Indiana Jones away. Put my Thor away. Okay. That's all I've got.
The fact that you had an extra moment with Thor, that was great.
Oh, we have this we can talk about.
See, and now you don't have to do that. You can just say what you want to say, Chantrice. Like when you disagree with Tracy, now you don't have to wait to send the email. You can just do it now here on the comments.
Live, and your comments are live for everybody to see. It's not personal like an IM. But no, we'll be like we'll be at work, and then all of a sudden out of the blue, she's like, "I loved that one." I'm like, "Loved what one?" She's like, "Oh, I'm listening to your episode." Oh, okay, sorry.
Well, we'll try to make more episodes that you love, Chantrice, and that everybody loves.
I do. She suggested the Poseidon Adventure, which I'd be totally down for. That's probably my favorite disaster movie.
I feel like she really liked our Titanic episode too. Does she just have a thing for sinking boats?
She has a thing for disasters, just disasters in general. She's got an encyclopedic knowledge.
Can we make July our disaster movie month? Because that's like really when most they are big in July, because that's when
true.
So maybe we can add that one to our first July episode and then build some more disaster movies.
As long as one of them is not Outbreak, I'm totally fine with that.
As long as one of them's not what?
Outbreak.
That's a good movie though.
I don't think that's a disaster movie. That's a pandemic movie.
Well, either way, I don't want to do it. I don't want to talk about a pandemic or an outbreak or anything.
I watched all those movies the first week of this nonsense.
Contagion. Yeah.
Independence Day is a good one. She mentioned that.
Yep. That's a good disaster movie.
Peach Dragon. I don't know that I'd call Peach Dragon a disaster movie though. Well, I don't know.
Let's break it down.
The new one may have been a disaster movie, but Josh is mentioning the 1970 version. So
I grew up on that version.
I love Peach Dragon. That's a good one. We don't want to take a whole lot of Disney ones though, because Val's got another podcast now where she talks about Disney stuff.
There's like 600 Disney movies for me to cover. We're fine. We're fine. And you're on another podcast, Stolen Droids, whatever.
Yeah.
Stolen droids, whatever. That's true.
It's only the mothership.
That's actually what we call the podcast. Welcome to the Stolen Droids Whatever podcast.
You're welcome.
Where we talk about whatever. Wow.
Man, I miss you guys.
I'm enjoying these weekly check-ins where we don't know where it's
We do
going to go,
whatever.
folks.
We do whatever.
Good. Brandon says,
I think that needs to be on a shirt. Stolen droids, whatever.
Stolen droids, whatever.
Amen, Brandon. Amen to Brandon.
Yeah, it's probably true. I'm going to hide that one now because it's making me sad.
Speaking of things that make me sad, the other day I couldn't sleep and I'm just channel surfing late at night, and Batman v Superman was on, and I thought, I haven't seen it since it came out in the theater. I'll give it another shot.
I'm so sorry.
It is such a bad movie. So today I redeemed myself because I saw Spider-Man 2 and then part of Spider-Man Homecoming before we came on the show.
Okay.
Mike, I got to remind myself of what a good superhero movie is, because Batman v Superman is...
Batman v Superman, I had so much hope for it.
Oh,
It hurt my feelings.
So
it hurt my feelings so bad.
Yeah, it did.
I have good hopes for the new Batman movie coming out, though.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not having high hopes. I'm not like putting it in this like pedestal thing, but I feel like it's going to be a good. It's going to be.
I really like the director and now I'm having a brain cramp. I can't think of the guy's name. Robert Pattinson. He's a good actor. He is an underrated actor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love
and
him.
Matt Reeves did all the Planet of the Apes movies.
If you want to watch the strangest movie made in the last 24 months, you can now watch The Lighthouse is on Amazon.
I was thinking we just talked about the strangest movie last week. Parasite was a pretty weird movie.
No, Lighthouse was weirder.
No.
Lighthouse.
Parasite was an interesting, weird, yet amazingly executed idea, whereas Lighthouse is something, it's a train wreck you can't look away from because it's beautiful yet completely insane. Like,
my gosh. You got all sorts of stuff.
Listen, Chantrice.
It's not Edward Cullen. Let
that
go.
Was a
of
character that Robert
go.
Pattinson played. He's
Let
an
it
actor.
go.
He plays characters based on what the director tells him to do. So I think
LOL at the end.
All right, all right.
Mean to Chantrice.
I'm sorry, Chantrice. I'm not being mean. That's a wonderful point. However, it'll be fine.
I'm very interested in that one. Like I said, I love Matt Reeves. I think he's a tremendous director. And then Josh says the new Batman, so we all go to the movie theater as Bane with our masks.
John said that. Perfect.
Well, my sleep apnea mask looks very much like a Bane mask, and so I'm like, if I could take this out in public, I'd be set. But
there you go.
You totally should. It would be. I think that's all we have today. We just want to check in and see how everybody's doing. I mean, we've been on for an hour. You guys are probably getting sick of us. No, don't get sick of us. We love you. Please keep listening. We've gotten some good suggestions for some movies. Yep. I think Three Amigos has got to be the next one that we do. I think we would really enjoy that. And we all need a good laugh right now. So,
yes.
So I think that would be good. Good to hear from you too, Chantrice. Good to hear from everybody that's commenting here. Please come back. We will be back on here Saturday at 2:30. Look for our Parasite episode on the podcast stream this week, and we will have a live episode a week from Monday, and it's going to be awesome. And you guys are awesome.
And you guys will be guests. You guys will be guests on the other show on Thursday. So.
Yep, that's right. Multiplane Podcast, which if you haven't checked that out, Val has a new podcast, and it's really good. Val, if you don't know, loves Disney, and she does a really great job talking about all things Disney. And so it's a match made in heaven.
We talked about a movie with Craig Price this last week that I don't care for, and everybody was surprised that there was a Disney movie that I don't care for, and it's James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
Sorry, don't hate me. I don't care for it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I love that one, though.
Yeah, so we're going to watch, so make sure you watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus on Monday, and then the following Thursday, it might not be right at 3:30 around a regular time because you guys work during the day, so we might push it a little bit later for you guys. But what we're going to do is watch the new Mandalorian episode and talk about it at the same time. So you have that many days to watch it.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that will be awesome. And it's a behind the scenes look at the Mandalorian, right? I don't want
And
anyone
the
to go
way
on
they
Disney
made
Plus
the
and be like
series-
disappointed when they're like, wait, there's not a new episode.
It's not season 2.
Right.
It's 8 episodes of behind the scenes footage.
And I love behind the scenes making of stuff.
Yeah, it should be really great. So I'm excited to do that. We're excited to see everybody next week. Same bat channel, same bat time, right here on Facebook and YouTube. We'd love to hear from you again, and check us out. Follow us here and on YouTube so you know when we're going live. All right. See y'all later.
Little buttercup.
FanX panel. All right. We'll see, Chantrice. We'll see what we can make happen.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.